Hey, welcome to the RoundTripper Rundown. I'm Chris Estep. I'm sitting here today with the RoundTripper Pitching Coordinator, Garrett Christman. Garrett is been here a long time. You walked through the doors at 12 years old with
Yep.
your family,
Yep. 12 you.
and you went to Noblesville High School, and you won a state championship. Actually, their first baseball state championship. Why don't you kind of chronologically take us through your career to this point?
Yeah. So after graduating from Noblesville, ended up at Butler University. Committed there end of junior year, I believe, in high school. Was there for 4 years. Was fortunate enough. It was a great school. Kind of turned the baseball program around there too, as we won or made to the Big East tournament for the first time in school history. And then after that, signed with the San Francisco Giants. Was with them for 2 years. And then I've been in independent professional baseball since with a few teams, Birmingham Beavers in the USPBL, Chicago Dogs in the American Association, and then still with the Windy City Thunderbolts in the Frontier League.
Okay. Every stop, you've seemed to, you're like a fine wine. As you get a little older, you get a lot better.
Right.
And I don't mean just a lot. I mean, your velocities went up 8 miles an hour since you were with San Francisco. And this is really a lot to do with you understanding the human body, because you were a
Human movement health science. Yep.
And so you've started the programs that have worked for you. You have started to put together for here at RoundTripper, which is another topic. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But your career path, you had a phenomenal year 2 years ago, and then this last season you had an outstanding year. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How you, some of your numbers and things like that?
Yeah. So when I pitched pretty much my whole life. I mean, even when I was 12 with the Mustangs, I was pitching in that. But I mean, I was a hitter first all the time. And
well, you were a fantastic hitter.
I still think I can hit.
I do too.
But then as we got into college, started pitching a little bit more. My junior, senior year, became a two-way player, and showed enough that the Giants were willing to give me a shot on the mound. And that was pretty much the first time that, hey, I'm a PO now, can still hit for fun, but I got to start really diving into the mechanics and becoming a pitcher and looking like a pitcher. And first 2 years was still getting on the mound, just throwing, didn't know much of what I was doing. But I think when I transitioned into indie ball, that first league I was in, the pitching coordinators there, Justin Ornduff and his DVS program, really helped me learn the biomechanics of pitching in the beginning and kind of say, okay, this is what I have to feel on the mound to actually pitch. And when I started doing that, like you said, my numbers went up, better feel for pitches, like changeup became even nastier. And then last couple years, it's been, how can I fine tune these? And it's just getting stronger in the weight room with Vern here and just putting it all together. And I think it's starting to really go where I need to be, and still need a tad more, but I know the direction I need to go.
Well, I mean, it's so funny because you see these guys, they pitch, one day they're pitching in independent ball, and the next thing they're in the big leagues.
Right.
And there's no clear-cut path to the big leagues. We talked to all the younger guys, and they're on their hopeful ascents, to the big leagues. But that's one way. The other way is through independent ball and getting the reps, and you're facing ex-big leaguers every day.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that versus facing AA guys.
Right.
So, it's I know everybody is, pulling for you because everybody sees how hard you work. It kind of brings us to, I think, if kids, your students, other pitchers could see the work and the time that you have to put in to hone your craft as a pitcher, I don't think they would believe how many hours a day you have to spend on the game.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it's for me like independent ball. The saying is like you're on your own in independent ball, which you are to an extent. I think it's gotten a lot better in the sense of these coaches kind of understand that players need to develop no matter what level they're at. So they're getting the right resources for us. But like for me, like I got to know what I'm doing because a coach can't tell me everything.
Right.
So being in, I think some of these younger guys, when you're in affiliate ball, they're more hands-on with those guys. They're trying to teach them what they need to do, and then those higher levels, if they're fortunate to get there, that's when they're going to be doing stuff on their own. But with indie ball, I've learned I got to take ownership of my own and learn it for my own. So, yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Well, you have developed an insane program. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your ACE program that you've put together?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to develop it for the last few years, but I think this was a great year to start that. And I mean, biggest thing is taking what I've learned from multiple different sources that I've had through my career and kind of developing a program that not only creates more like efficient pitchers as far as throwing more strikes, higher velocities, but also arm health and having a routine to where these kids can now like be ready to pitch. Because I think in the past we've had guys come through here and they've had good stuff and they're really good pitchers, but then it's like they start failing a little bit. Well, how can we get them back on track? Right. And now that they have a routine and know how to prepare to pitch and be ready every day, that's a little bit easier on their mind that, hey, I can be confident out there.
I agree. I agree. Well, I'm excited for that to kick off. I'm excited to see where your career continues to move. And you're here every day. Yeah. You're kind of like a piece of furniture. You're like me, you know. You're here on a regular basis, 24/7. So everybody, if you need something, Garrett's here. You leave for your spring training?
Most likely it'll be between March and April sometime. Don't know yet exactly, but that's usually around the time when I'll leave.
Okay, awesome. So you're going to be here for the start of the high school season.
Yep.
So all these guys, and then the kickoff to the travel season. So you'll get them all going in the right direction, I'm sure of it.
We will.
All right. Hey, we'll catch everybody on our next episode of the RoundTripper Rundown.